Yo, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, it's your boy MOODZ back in the house, and it is about that time to start ripping through all of these albums here. I'm going to start doing these updates frequently, and I think the way I'm going to attack this is that I'm going to just take a stack down, do about 20 minutes, give or take the time, and slowly kind of work my way through all these albums so I can get them put away. They've been sitting here for like 2-3 years, I think, since my last update, so there will be a couple videos where it will be longer because I have all my 2017 albums, 18 and 19, all separated. I usually do that just because that's what I'm listening to throughout the year, and also it's easier to have them all stacked together when I'm doing like the year-end top 10 or top 20 albums of the year, whatever. I digress. So let's get right into this album update. It's just going to be all CDs. I'm going to leave vinyl again until different videos and shit like that, but let's just get right into this. First up here, we got the KMC crew getting smooth with it. This is a fucking interesting album, actually, because it's kind of all over the place, man. It's got like some kind of like some R&B shit on there. It's got some real hard-ass beats. It's got some real groove type shit. It came out in 1990, so it has that feel. It's got all the feels of like 1990 in it. They are a crew from Detroit, I believe. And they actually did a song on here called The Devil Came Up to Michigan, which is a cover of the Charlie Daniels band, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. And it's interesting, this song is pretty funny because it ends with like a big scratch battle and shit. It's pretty dope. But it's a very hit and miss album. Like, it starts out with a song called She's My Cutie. And honestly, it doesn't set the tone for the album very well because it's a mixed bag throughout. You got T the Sarge, which is a dope track on here. Mr. Groove, Let's Start Over. I think Mr. Groove is just hard hitting on here, but it's all over the place, man. Song's called Sexy Sexy, and then to Sit Back Coolin' and shit. It's a very strange album, but it definitely probably has something for everybody on there. But kind of an interesting album to say the least. But the KMC crew, 1990, an album I really don't hear much people talk about at all. Speaking of an album that's I think is really and highly underrated, is Downtown Science, self-titled album, which was released on Def Jam in 1991. Now, I don't remember this album being promoted a whole lot back in 1991, which is odd because Def Jam, usually, I mean, they were on top of the game around this time too. They had a lot of great acts on Def Jam and stuff, but this is an album I feel like this kind of fell through the cracks for Def Jam. Made up of two guys, MC and producer. I think the MC's name is Bosco Money. I think so. But I just believe that maybe the singles didn't hit hard and they just didn't promote the album a lot. But I believe the first single on the album was This Is a Visit. Followed by, I don't even know the order, but Radioactive, which is an amazing song. I know there's a video for that song. I absolutely love that track. Room to Breathe, but it's got that 91 feel, but it's not a very playful album. It actually has like a very serious tone to it. Beats are dope, rhymes are awesome, and it has a serious element to it. It's pretty interesting. I say definitely check this out if you've never checked it out before. But again, 1991, it has those type of beats, so. But yeah, Downtown Science. Finally glad to get my hands on a copy for cheap, because that one goes for a little bit of money. It's been out of print for forever. So finally found one for like really cheap. Next up, we got the Circle of Tyrants, which is a group made up of Necro, Ill Bill, Gore-Tex, and Mr. Hyde, released on Psychological Records, 2005. Yeah, it's such a shame that Necro and Ill Bill are kind of beefing right now, because I was listening to this album again the other day. And it's got so many great, like, Necro's an amazing producer. He finds some awesome samples. He really likes his Italian stuff. Like, he samples Ennio Morricone so much. He samples movies, like, on Carnivores, he samples Lucio Fulci's Zombie. And the Black Wings of Apocalypse, I believe he samples the Deep Red theme, too, Profondo Rosso. So, but it's interesting, it's hard-hitting beats, great samples throughout this album, rhymes are all dope. It's got a couple tracks in the middle of the album called Necrotura and the Ultimate Revenge that has a bunch of guys from metal groups and stuff, so they kind of threw that metal element to this too, but it's a hard record, man. There's a lot of dope tracks on here. But yeah, Necro and Ill Bill just sound really good on this record, and it's just I kind of miss those old Psychological days where Necro and Bill were actually not beefing and liked each other and shit, but it is what it is. Definitely not a record for everybody, but I really enjoy that, actually. A-Team, not the A-Team from the West Coast. This is actually a group that Chub Rock executively produced. I think two of the guys in the group, I want to say this guy and this guy maybe, were actually backup dancers for Chub Rock who formed this group called A-Team. I know Chub Rock's on a couple tracks on this album. It came out in 1992, and it's called A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich. Yeah, A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich. Sorry for the glare, guys. I don't want to keep saying that, but I can't help the fucking glare. It's annoying. Bosco, that one's for you, man. Jason, my boy. He said in a comment that I think it bugs me more than everyone else, but it really does. It's so annoying to see. But a pretty good album. You know, nothing like spectacular, like nothing crazy or nothing, but it's a really solid album from top to bottom. Nothing whack on it. But again, it has that kind of 1992 feel to it, and it's all right, man, for what it is. A-Team, A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich. That was another really cool find. We got the KRS one strictly for the breakdancers and MCs. Double disc album. I know these albums were released separately before, and then this is the kind of the re-release on X-Ray Records in 2001 with the 2 discs and the 2 albums. So this is just a beat tape, which is actually quite surprising that he didn't actually rhyme over some of these beats, because there's some awesome shit like Steady Bounce. I love the sample in there. It's awesome. Ashru on here is fucking amazing too. There's so many good beats. It's just crazy. I like listening to stuff like this, so if you're not into beat tapes, I'd stay clear. But there's some pretty cool shit, cool samples and stuff. KRS One is kind of an underrated producer a little bit. He produces some pretty good boom bap show. So finally happy to have that. Got that for like $3. It's crazy. Found a copy on CD. I have this on vinyl, but Diamond D's Hatred, Passions, and Infidelity album from 1997. It's got 5 Fingers of Death, man. Absolutely. Big L is like, is absolutely massacres that track, man. So many good beats on here. I know this was, to some people, was kind of a disappointment when it came out, because after Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop came out in 92, this is like a whole era later, it seemed like, in the 90s. 92 to 97, there was a lot of missed time in there for Diamond D. So I think maybe it was the time that went by that people kind of either slept on this album or just weren't interested. I'm not sure, but this is a good album, man. This is really dope. I think this is kind of slept on in a lot of instances. A lot of good tracks on here. But you know, it's Diamond D, one of my favorite producers from DITC. Absolutely loving it. And I've always been a huge fan of that album cover. It's so dope, man. But yeah, good shit, man. So Diamond D. We got some Body Count, Bloodlust. This is their album that they put out a couple years. This is the latest album they put out a couple years ago, which I have to say is pretty banging, man. It's got Dave Mustaine from Megadeth on here, Max Calvaria from Sepultura. Yeah, but they do a cover of Rain and Blood from Slayer, and it's actually really dope. But the song on here, This Is Why We Ride, man, Ice-T is hard as fuck on that song, man. Just hard as shit, man. I don't know, man. I really like the Ice-T Body Count shit, man. It's pretty dope. But yeah, this is one of their better albums, actually. I'd say this is right up there with one of their best projects. It's crazy. We got Black Caesar, man. Tales from the Dark Side. There's my horror. Tales from the Black Side, man. Now, this is a crazy album. I didn't really know much about Black Caesar. Black Caesar. And I heard this album, oh man, I want to say probably in the early 2000s, I would say. I think it came out in 1994 on Relativity. And I remember hearing it for the first time and being like, damn, dude, that's crazy West Coast sounding. Like, that's a dope West Coast album. And then my buddy tells me, he's like, no, dude, that guy's from Pittsburgh. I'm like, what the fuck? So I looked into it and I was like, oh shit, Battle Cat was doing the production on it and stuff. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, if you were just to listen to this, you'd think this dude was straight from the West Coast, because the beats are so West Coast gangsta wine, Battle Cat style and shit, man. It's a hard album, man. It's really hard. I mean, look at the album cover. A body outline in chalk, man. It's crazy. It starts off with a song called The Hood, which is actually, it says 4:16 on here. It's a lot longer than that. I think it's like 6 minutes or something. But this is a hard record, man. Really, really hard. Probably not for everybody, but that's some gangsta shit right there. I don't really know what happened to Black Caesar after this, but an interesting record, nevertheless, to be released on Relativity, for sure. Now, this next one here, I know peeps are going to laugh at me, but shout goes out to my man Immobilarity 1, Steve, for actually showing this on one of his videos. And it was interesting because I was watching his update video, And I'd picked this up a few months prior, and I was like, damn, dude, like, everybody is sleeping on this album. And I was so happy that someone showed this album, because I've never seen anyone show this before. And I just figured, and he said the same thing, people are going to laugh at me, blah, 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 but it's a dope record. And that is Brian Green's One Stop Carnival. Yes, it is Brian Austin Green from 90210, the ex-husband of Megan Fox. He recorded this album actually when he was still doing 90210, 1996. He recorded it with Slim Kid 3, will.i.am's on here, LAJ, I believe, did production. He co-produced the whole thing too, and of course, does the rhymes and shit. If you're into Pharcyde, man, you're gonna love this record, because it absolutely sounds 100% like a genuine Pharcyde album. Beats are just like that. It sounds like it probably could have came out, I would say, in 1994-ish. It sounds a little bit older than 96, because I mean, if you put this into the scheme of things in 1996, when gangsta rap and West Coast hip hop was really dominating everything, this kind of really sticks out, or doesn't really stick out at all. But now when you listen to it way past that, it's good, man. I think he holds down his own. It's a really, really solid album. So don't be afraid to check it out, man. Trust me, if I was playing a mix and I played one of these tracks in here, y'all be bumping to it, man. If you didn't know it was Brian Green. So give it a shot, man. It's a good record. Hands down. Take my word on it. If you don't like it, well then, that's fucked up. But yeah, shout goes out to my man, Steve Immobilarity 1. And also shout goes out to his Guillotine Regime project that he's been working on. Good production on that shit too, man. Fucking fat ass shit. So be on the lookout for that when it officially drops. I know it's out digitally right now and shit. That reminds me, I gotta hit up Steve for the physicals, so. But I digress. Moving along. KMD's Black Bastards. This is the re-release double disc. I do have the original single disc, but I wanted it for the second disc, which is full of rarities and B-sides and remixes and instrumentals and shit like that. Really great release, man. It's got this cool little digibook style and a cool booklet with an awesome write-up on the group and stuff. About MF Doom and shit like that, which he didn't go by Metal Doom or MF Doom at the time, but you guys probably all know the KMD history. But some awesome shit. I can listen to this album non-stop and never get sick of it. I don't know what it is about this record, but it just rips by when I put it on. It's like a lot of MF Doom projects, really. They just kind of fly by for me because they're so different and shit. But there is amazing tracks on this, man. Like, everything. I could just name off every track on this, and it's just awesome. So, if you've never heard this KMD record, Black Bastards, which, of course, if you don't know the history of it, it was actually shelved by the label at the time because, I think solely because of the artwork that they presented the company with. You know, obviously this is kind of hits home with a lot of people. So, yeah, that's, you know, I mean, it would never fly today either in this PC world that we live in. So, but KMD, Black Bastards, amazing. We got AZ's Do or Die, the 15th anniversary album. This is a weird fucking album, man. It's not like, it's not a 15th anniversary edition of the original Do or Die album. This is kind of like, it's got 4 or 5 remixes of songs that were from the original Do or Die, like Gimme Yours. This came out in 2010s, things like that. And a couple remixes, but a lot of bonus tracks or like newly recorded things and stuff. It's okay. There's some production from Static Select on here, things like that. But overall, this was kind of forgettable. I wasn't really that impressed. AZ is one of those cats, in my opinion, that is an amazing MC who does not do the greatest albums. He does a lot of good songs. I think you could put together a couple really dope mixtapes of tracks that he's done over the years that are amazing, but his albums in full they don't ever stick out to me. But yeah, so AZ 15th anniversary, Do or Die. Sorry. J-Sun with DJ Revolution, which I absolutely love. DJ Revolution is one of my favorite DJs of all time. J-Sun, of course, from Special Teams, The Creators, Boston MC. This is like an official it's like official mixtape / kind of album thing. This edition is actually a burn on demand from Amazon.com. I always wanted a copy of this. I used to have this downloaded, and I don't know what happened to my download. I thought I had actually made a copy, like a hard copy myself, because this thing sold out, I remember, back in the day on the undergroundhiphop.com website super fast. It was just gone, and which is rare for me not to get something in those days, because I used to buy like everything, but I missed out on this. But yeah, this was a decent price for it. I was glad to have it. So, but yeah, it is a burn on demand, but it actually looks totally factory though. It's crazy. They did a really good job with this, but yeah, so it is. But either way, glad to own it. J-Sun, dope shit. We got some Edo G on here. Yeah, awesome. A couple Tribe projects, not projects, but we got the anthology here. And I picked this up solely because, well, Tribe is my favorite group of all time. And of course, I own all their albums. But I picked this up because this is the European release of it that actually has the second disc. The American release, I don't think, had this. And the bonus disc just has a bunch of remixes. I'll show you right here. It's just listed on the inside. It actually doesn't show you the track listing on the back. So, you know, it's got Benita Applebum, I Left My Wallet, and El Segundo remix, Public Enemy, Can I Kick It, Scenario. That Scenario remix is pretty cool. The Benita Applebum Hootie mix, and oh my god. Things like that, so kind of cool to have. Yeah. And of course, I had to re-get this. I used to have this on tape years ago. I just never bought the CD. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. I'm not really the biggest fan of a lot of the remixes on here. It's, again, you know, Benita Applebum, I Left My Wallet, and El Segundo. There's like alternate mixes and stuff that's on there. It's weird. Although the jazz we re-recorded, I actually kind of like that. It's kind of cool. But yeah, it's not really my favorite remixing, but it's Tribe, so I had to re-put it back into the collection, if you know what I'm saying. Wild Pitch Classics. One of the greatest compilation albums released by Wild Pitch, I believe in 93, 94, somewhere in there, 1994, which has Gangstar, Lati, The Coop, Main Source, OC, UMC's Main Source, Lord Finesse, who else? Chill Rob G, Ultra Magnetic MCs, Entice, Main Source, Lati. Yeah, this is fucking awesome. I love how they break this down. It gives you, you know, it gives you the fucking years. Sorry, this thing is just not... does not want to focus properly, but yeah, what an amazing... that's an amazing lineup of shit on there. So, Wild Pitch Classics. Yeah! Picked up some Mac Dre, Young Black Brother, The Album. This is a project that came out in 1993. It was consisting of some new tracks, but it also was a compilation of songs from his previous, like, 3 EPs, I believe. Mixed with some new tracks and stuff, but one of my favorite West Coast songs of all time, man. It's Too Hard for the Fucking Radio. I love that track. It's hard to believe that track came out in 1989. When you think about West Coast hip-hop and the sound in 1989 in general, Too Hard for the Fucking Radio, just, man, it's crazy. That's a hard-ass beat, hard-ass song, but rest in peace to Mac Dre, man. He was definitely unique and one of a kind, but yeah, awesome shit. Really enjoy listening to that. Roscoe from the West, this is released on Stone's Throw. This is his debut album. Peanut Butter Wolf production, all over the place. Got some Encore on here. Tafari, Planet Asia, of course. Yeah, that's explainable. But yeah, this is an amazing album, man. Time Waits for No Man. Awesome shit, dude. Roscoe is such a beast. He's such a beast. You never hear anybody ever talk about this guy. Maybe the Cali Agents might get mentioned. Planet Asia gets mentioned a lot because he's had such a prolific career. I mean, the guy is still putting out albums like insane. But Roscoe, I think, kind of hung it up there for a lot of years. I know Cali Agents just released one of their older projects from 2008, which I missed out on. I'm so pissed off. I have heard it and it's awesome. But Roscoe, great record. Here's a cool ass compilation. I gotta replace this case. It's just beat to shit. It's cut. It's a double disc. I even have replacement double disc. But Definition of Ill. It was released on Colpasic Records, something like that. It's weird though, man. It has like a lot of Stone's Throw shit on here. It's got like Roscoe, Peanut Butter Wolf, Cutmaster Kirk. There's some Fife Dog on here. Some Doom, a lot of Roscoe and Peanut Butter Wolf and shit like that. Tons of that stuff. It's cool. It's a double disc. The first disc is the individual tracks, and then the second disc is actually a mix with some different tracks too, like a DJ mix. Definition of Ill compilation, which is really dope, dude. Really, really awesome shit. But this thing's in fucking rough shape, man. I guess that's what you get for $2 or $3, whatever I paid for it. Ray West and Cool Keith, a couple of slices. Awesome record from 2015. I only heard this like a couple years. I missed it in 2015. I don't know how I did. Got some cool features on here from Cormega. Third Eye is on here. Third Eye. Crazy. Like, where the fuck's he been? Dying Breed and, of course, AG from DITC. Beats are dope, man. Ray West kind of mixed it up with no drums, and there is some drums on here also. So, but a nice little blend. It's cool to hear Cool Keith actually rhyming. He's Cool Keith in general. You know, he's strange and odd. His rhymes are hilarious and weird. and fucking weird, like just weird. Like, how else can you describe Kool Keith? He's got to be one of the most eccentric people ever. Like, he's just strange. But I think that's what draws us hip hop lovers to somebody like Kool Keith, is that you never know what he's gonna say, and never know what he's gonna put out. So, but this is pretty cool, man. Ray West is a dope producer. This is such a weird album. Schoolie D's Reservoir Dog. I think this one came out in 95 or 96 or something. I don't think there's a date on here. But it has like this kind of weird funk appeal to it. It's kind of got like this George Clinton Parliament / Funkadelic thing happening here. It's a very, very odd album. That's all I can say. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's a good album from Schoolie D. I'd just like to know what was going through his mind when he did this. Again, like some of the projects Schoolie D put out in the 90s, like Welcome to America and shit, was very strange and odd compared to his earlier 80s stuff. But I don't really know how to describe this album. It's odd. It's very weird. Definitely one of those things that's hard to listen to. I don't know. It's weird. I don't think it's like terrible, but it's weird. One of my all-time favorites. I love this record, and I finally got a copy of this a couple years ago. It's just amazing. Fully produced by The Large Professor, Acknelly's Vagina Diner. What can I say, man? This is just, I absolutely love this record, man. Like, top to bottom, Large Pro's production is absolutely top notch here. 1993 shit. I mean, really, in my opinion, Large Pro's never really done anything wrong. Everything he touches is like amazing. I wish he had done more work. I wish Large Pro had to produce more albums with just one MC and Large Pro on the beats. I think that would have been absolutely amazing, but still to this day, awesome record. Next up here, we got Homeless Dialects Fraudulent, the album, produced by Architect. Jesus, man. Holy crap. Architect. I think these guys were from somewhere around Frisco. This is pretty cool though, man, because it's kind of like a compilation of tracks that they had done between like 92 and like 96 and shit, and it's really gritty and grimy, man. That definitely doesn't have that, like, you know, that typical West Coast sound and shit. Actually, Encore's even on here. That's cool. Which Architect actually produced Encore's first album, which is an amazing record. But yeah, I mean, it's mixed in with a lot of interludes and shit like that, but it's still cool, man. It's still cool. I really enjoyed this. Next up, I didn't even know this was even in here, but Erykah Badu's Badism. Definitely like a hip-hop R&B kind of soul record. Very influenced. There's Roots production on here and so forth, but just an amazing album. This is actually an upgrade. I have it on tape, and I saw the CD sitting there, and I was like, well, I gotta upgrade it because I absolutely love this record. I think it appeals to, you know, guys, girls, everything, man. It's just, Erykah Badu is just dope. Like, just fucking dope, man. Like, what else can you say about her? Great, unique voice. Super interesting style. I don't know, man. I always liked Erykah Badu. She's definitely one of a kind, in my opinion. But a great, great album. If you like hip-hop, kind of soul, R&B records and shit, it's good. It's really good. Oh, man, this album, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is some fucking horse shit. Old Dirty Bastard. The Trials and Tribulations of Russell Jones. An album I did not own. I picked it up. I think it was like 50 cents. Seriously, 50 cents. And I think I paid too much for it. Because this is fucking trash bags. Trash bags, man. I don't think there's anything redeemable on here, man. Like, it's crazy to think, though. Like, you got Mac 10, Royal Flush. ICP is on here. Big Psych, Too Short, E40, C Murder, Buddha Monk, another song with Royal Flush, Sons of Man and Brooklyn Zoo, E40, C Murder. Yeah, like, there's some cool features and stuff on here, and like a couple tracks aren't that bad, honestly. But Dirty and Stink with ICP, oh man, where did that even come from? How does, like, I don't know, I don't even know. But this is a really bad album. The production's terrible. I think honestly, with better production, this album could have been a little bit better. But even the song, is it Dogged Out with Big Psych and Too Short? Big rest in peace to Big Psych and ODB, of course. I was like so disappointed, man. So disappointing. But yeah. Oh yeah, we're already like 20 something minutes, 20 maybe 22 minutes in. Okay, got two more though for the stack that I grabbed. All I did was literally just grab a pile. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do for this update. We got Planet Asia's The Medicine, fully produced by Evidence. Absolutely love this record. Fucking love this album. So good, man. Cron Don, Feel the Agonies on here. Black Thought. We got Janelle. Prodigy's on here. Who else is on here? Roscoe, Raka, Evidence himself. Great production, great album right through, man. Just solid shit, man. Dilated Agents, man. You gotta love that shit. And the song with Black Thought is fucking amazing too. When did this come out? 2005? 6. 2006. Actually, technically released on Battle Axe Records. This was on Swollen Members label. That's cool. So, yeah, The Medicine, man. Oh, absolutely. Love that record. And last up for this update, which is going to be one of many. I'm not sure how I'm going to title this, but... which is Beat Factory's Rap Essentials Volume 2. This one came out in 1997. Got that classic Infinite Gotta Get Mine track, but it's got Down to Earth on here. Mission Me, 6 Sense, Straight of Minds, Illegal Justice. There's a lot of dope groups on here. A lot of really great Canadian underground shit that's... honestly hard to find. Like this is actually going for a little bit of money now, which in the volume 1 is going for crazy money too. But so I had to snag this up when I found a copy for a decent price. So, but yeah, so that is gonna do it for this update. I will be back. When I'm back, probably sooner than later, man. I'm gonna try busting out these whenever I can and shit like that. So. And I hope you guys enjoyed that update. Leave your comments down below if you have any opinions on these albums and shit like that. But I got so much to go through. This is going to be ridiculous. So I'm almost embarrassed. There's too much to show here. But anyways, guys, I'll check you guys later. Deuces.